Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video was a requested video and it is about unique or interesting professional flats for work, and specifically looking at flats for the summertime. I'm gonna go through some just classic all year round flats and some that I definitely think gear more towards the warm weather. I have, I think, 20 to go over with you, so I'm gonna try to get through them quickly. When I talked about this on Instagram, I did get a comment asking me to please do at least a few open-toed shoes and sandals that are flat. I really don't like open toe for work, so that was a little difficult for me to do. The only one that I'm gonna recommend is something that's very subtle, and I think the SARAHFLINT Perfect Block Sandal, you can get the smallest size that is basically flat, and then they also have a medium size and a higher heel size. Those just have like that one straight band across and they work. I think that they work fine for work. I would also say potentially the Greer if you want something that's like a little bit more interesting, but in general, I don't love a sandal or an open toe shoe for work. So I think most, if not all of the other ones I'm gonna recommend are closed-toed. Speaking of SARAHFLINT, we're just gonna get my favorite brands out of the way. From SARAHFLINT, there are quite a number of great flats. You have the classic Natalie flat, which has that nice bow on it. It's a really sweet detail, the pointed toe, it's very flattering. Meghan Markle wore them and they just like sold out everywhere. There's a reason that they're so classic and they're very comfortable as well. Then you have the Rosie and the Bennett, which are going to be just kind of more your more classic loafer, Oxford kind of shoe. Any of those shoes by SARAHFLINT, you can't go wrong. Quality is incredible, comfort is amazing. My other favorite are Ally shoes and the Ally flats, and I actually have a pair I'll show you. These are the Ally flats. I have decided that I don't actually wear flats, so I am selling mine, which are in a 36, if anyone's interested. Super comfortable, you can see that arch support. They're really, really nice shoes. I also really like that toe detail. I think that that's very pretty. So these are great, and they have like a tiny little bit of a heel. I like something that's a little bit lifted. I don't like something that's super duper flat. So these are really nicely designed. They're beautiful shoes. I've discovered that the only flats that I wear are the brand I'm going to talk about next, which are Rothys. For me, a flat is a really casual shoe and I want to be able to wash it and wear it really easily. I tend to only really wear flats to commute or for casual wear, and so I love these. There's nothing particularly special about them. I think the point is nice. The washability factor is what makes them unique, but yeah, I wouldn't say that they're like just a kind of a classic pointed toe looking shoe, though you can get patterns and bright colors, and they have a lot of different options if you want something that's a little bit more interesting, but these are their biggest seller and I'm not surprised. They're great. So these I like because of the washability. I do find them comfortable. I have lots of reviews on Rothys, but for me, it's the only real flats that I wear, except for maybe sandals, but for work, because I can wear them to commute, and then if need be, they look nice enough to actually wear for the workday. Shoes that are all the rage this summer, Valentino Roman stud flats. I don't like them. I'm sorry. I just think that the stud is too much. They're appropriate for work if you want something that's like a little more edgy and trendy. I think these are going to be super over super quick, but I do have to mention them because they are certainly the it flat for the summer. Next, I'll mention a total classic from Ferragamo. There are 3 different options of this shoe that I think are perfect. Technically, this is the Vera, which is a little bit of a heel. You can get the Verena, which is a total flat, or the new Viva, which has a little bit of a wedge. Any of those classic beautiful pumps that have a little something going for them with the bow detail. Next is the Saint Laurent Anais, I don't know how to say it, slingback. They also have a kitten heel version, but the slingback I think is a really nice option for work. I love that like subtle little YSL. It's kind of like the Vera in terms of the bow, but it's got that really pointed toe. But I really like this one. I'm not a slingback person, but if I was, definitely something I'd consider. I think this is classic, but cool and interesting. For more classic, loafer-like, brogue, Oxford, the Row Fräulein shoe is nice. I like the kind of cut of it. It's like an elevated slipper, but I think that in the black leather would be really nice for work. One of the classic loafers that I have to mention is the Gucci loafer. I have a whole video on why I sold mine. I'm just not a loafer person, but I do like them. I will say that the Brixton, that like lamb, or I think it's like a lambskin leather, does get messed up pretty quickly. So I would probably suggest the Jordan, which is a little hardier, but I think slightly less comfortable. Either one though, you cannot go wrong with that classic loafer look for work. And I've really enjoyed the way people have been dressing those down in the last few years. I think that there's a real way to get a lot of use out of them for work and weekend wear. Next, I want to talk about Nicholas Kirkwood shoes. I used to have two pairs. I had the Bea loafer and then the Casati. The Casati is one I would definitely recommend. I mean, they're all great. The Bea is kind of just more of a classic look, but there are a few different shoes that they have that are really interesting, and I love the pearl detail of the Casati and some of the others. Now they have a Casati Derby and a Casati Mule. Those are really nice. You can also just get the classic Casati loafers. All of them have a little something that's interesting about them. Their new shoe, the Alyssa, I also really like. I'm not a huge fan of the PVC, but I think the cut of this is really pretty, and it is done in a very tasteful way. Monstera, I think, is also nice and is interesting. Definitely a unique but classic enough shoe that it would be worth buying. If you're interested in the square toe option that has kind of come back, I want to say this brand is Peferi, I think. The Tremaine Ballerina. This is vegan. It has the square toe. It has this classic Mary Jane strap that I think is quite nice. So I would say that this is a nice classic way to do that square toe trend. The Gianvito Rossi Angie is a really nice shoe. If you like that lace-up look, I think that this is really well done. It looks interesting and fresh and unique, but still that kind of classic ballerina flat with that lace-up. And I like Gianvito Rossi. I prefer their suede to their leather, but I think either one would probably be fine. Malone Soulier, their like straps I find super interesting, and they have great flats. You can either get the full flat or the mule. There's so many different colors and options, and I do think that there's just a really interesting, unique, chic look about them, but they're still classic and they're not gonna go out of style. So now for one that I think is definitely a summer shoe. I think that this shoe by Soulier Martinez is cute. It's a cute summer shoe. There's a heel version, there's a mule version, there's sandal versions, but this is cute, and you can make this work nicely, but it is something that's a little bit more interesting. If you get it in like a neutral kind of nude color, then it's a little bit more subtle, and I think totally works for work. The Jimmy Choo Genevieve, I don't know how to say it. I really like this. There's no reason that I like this so much because it's not something I would wear because I don't wear flats enough, but this flat with the crisscross, it's just an interesting way. The placement I think would actually make it very comfortable, but it's interesting, it's cool, it's very chic. You can get them in the crystals. I do think that this is a really nice flat. Last up, Aquazora makes some great flats. The straps make them really interesting. So you can get the Forever flat, or right now I think the Dahlia is also a really nice option. That is it for this video. That's a whole bunch of flats that I think are nice for work, yet have a little something interesting about them, many of which look like they would be quite comfortable and high quality as well. Let me know your favorites down below, or if you have any more to recommend. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in a future video. Bye.